We're going to talk to a coach of another undefeated team. That's the Hammonton Blue Devils, and Jim Raso. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on today.
Our pleasure. Big win for you guys last night on the road at Clearview, and it's a Clearview team coming in. They were 1-2, but we had talked about it during the week. They had played some pretty good competition and been really competitive with those teams. But last night, you guys able to build an early lead. It starts early with a Malachi Winters touchdown run, and then you get some of your other horses going there in the second quarter. But how are you guys able to jump on them so fast last night?
Yeah, the kids did a great job last night executing. The staff, we came up with the game plan, and the kids were just executing well. They did, for the most part, we were picking up the blocking early on, and defensively, we had assignment football, and that was the big thing expressing to the kids was let's just make sure we carry out our assignments. If they're going to get any big plays on us, we want to eliminate that. We want to make them earn, going the length of the field, not trying to give up the big play.
Obviously, Clearview, a big-time playmaker in Jair Sharper, and he's a guy you were concerned about coming in. So you guys go up 14-0 last night, and then on Clearview's ensuing drive, Sharper goes 53 yards to the house. So that could have been a turning point. I mean, they're on the board. They're within a score. How crucial, how clutch was it to get a kick return for a touchdown on the ensuing kickoff? Isaac Flores, I mean, was that the turning point of that game?
I believe so. At that point, that game could have went either way, and Isaac wound up taking the kickback. He stepped up big last night. We had an injury to one of our starters, Daniel Figueroa, at a halfback, and so Isaac was having to play both ways, and he really excelled. He excelled on special teams last night, he excelled on the offensive end, and especially on defensive end, he had a key interception early on.
People forget, I mean, your first year at head coach at Hammonton, and but obviously a longtime member of the staff. So, the fact that you're sort of going through things for the first time, and yes, for the first time as a head coach, but that experience is there. I mean, you've been through these battles with this team. You've been through this West Jersey League schedule last season. How much of a bonus is that, knowing the kids, knowing the program, knowing the assistants in terms of stepping in for your first year as head coach?
Being with the program as long as I have, and the staff being there, so the kids were familiar with the way the way we were going to do things. So it wasn't stepping into a brand new situation where the kids were going to have to get used to doing things the way we want them to. Pete built a great foundation here, and that was the main thing, is we were just going to try to build upon that.
Catching up right now, Jim Raso, head coach of the Hammonton Blue Devils. Hammonton 41-21 over Clearview last night. And I want to talk about your fullback, Zach Bernard. Here's a guy who didn't get a lot of touches last year, but, man, he's a bruiser. He's the ultimate high school football goal line back. Couple touchdowns for you last night, but he's also broken some big runs for you this year. Did you know coming into this season that Bernard was going to be a guy you were going to get the ball to a lot? He doesn't look like your prototypical running back, almost like a Ron Dane type, but he's getting the job done right now.
Yeah, he strictly was playing defense for us last year. A little bit on the offense here and there, but he was just a one-way player last year. Going in this off season, we sat down with him and said, look, you're going to have to step up now and play both ways for us. We were going to put him at fullback. He played a little bit there his freshman year. And, our offense is centered around that fullback game, and then everything else goes off of that. So he has done a tremendous job, last night, getting us the tough yards that we needed. They had, probably 9-10 guys in the box at times. And, he did a great job blocking and just being a leader, between him and Mitch Vitale and another senior, Miles Sampson. Those three guys have really stepped up and, led the way for, we're a heavy junior class, but those three seniors are really excelling for us.
Yeah, Vitale, a couple big runs last night to set up a number of those Bernard touchdowns. And it seems like Zach is also a guy that likes to have some fun out there. I was at the game during the first half last night doing, a couple light touchdown celebrations. How important is that? And we talked about this earlier in the show, but it's such a grind, the high school football season. The fact that, and winning helps, obviously, but the fact that the kids are having some fun out there, too.
Yeah, it is. It's a year-round sport, just between the weight training, the summer stuff, and when kids are able to, go out there, work hard, and then still have fun at the same time, obviously, winning also helps that out. But, just seeing the kids have fun out there, it kind of makes things worthwhile then.
I want to talk about Vitali a little more, too. I was able to talk to him this week. And, what about a guy like that, a program guy? And he talked about sort of growing up with this group and how they've all come together this season and it's turning into something special. And you mentioned it. You're a little bit younger, not a ton of seniors, but he is certainly one of those guys you're counting on. What has his leadership meant so far this year?
That kid is doing just about everything that we need from him. He was a one-way player also last year. He played just strictly defense for us. And, we same thing we told Zach, you're going to have to step up and play on both sides of the ball. And, just between his block and his running, his tackling, and just the everyday being the leader out there on the practice field, the kids really look up to those three guys that I had mentioned. And, just making sure that everybody's supposed to be doing what they're doing. We're never looking ahead. We're always looking at that opponent that's in front of us. That's the only way that this program can have success. We got to do all the little things right, and those three guys definitely represent doing all the little things right for us.
We talked a little bit about Malachi Winters off of the top here, but it all starts with the quarterback. You guys don't throw the ball a ton. Few high school teams do, but certainly you count on a guy like that, and he steps in as a starter this season, again, just a junior. How fast has his maturation process, been crucial to the success you've had this year?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He was a guy that started at safety for us last year, and stepping in, he was going to have to take over at the quarterback position, and he's doing a great job of managing the team and just timely runs when we need it. We don't throw the ball a lot, but when we do, we told him, just want to make sure you get the ball in places that give our kids a chance, and he has done that. And he's so even keeled. It's nothing really bothers that kid. He's just trying to. He's constantly upbeat, and he's just going from one play to the next, and he doesn't dwell on anything bad. And he doesn't get too high, when things are going really well. So he's just an even keeled kid, and he's doing a great job, leading those guys right now.
South Jersey Sports Report checking in right now. Jim Raso, head coach of the Hammonton Blue Devils. The Devils a big win over Clearview last night, 41-21. Coach, I don't often ask high school coaches about their kickers, and you didn't need him to kick any field goals last night, but certainly you got a good one there in John Riker, and you're not afraid to roll him out and attempt some field goals. He has a number of them this season. How much of a weapon is that? Because kicking's an adventure, as we all know, at the high school level. I'd say, fair to say, most teams don't have a reliable kicker. You do. How much could that help in a tight spot down the line, playoffs, what have you, in terms of, rolling out the kicking team and going for that field goal because you have trust there?
He's a weapon. There's no doubt about that. Early on, especially in that Kingsway game, he had a big field goal for us, and we don't even hesitate. We get in that situation, we know we can just go ahead and send him out there. He does a great job as far as, what we're trying to do off the kickoff. He's been putting the ball through the end zone at times. At times we're asking him, to put the ball in different places. And, that kid takes a lot of pride in what he does. And, we're just happy that, he's with our program. He's doing a great job for us.
So Hammonton now 5-0, and the same thing sort of unfolded last season where you guys jump out 4-0, maybe 5-0, maybe even 6-0. I can't remember correctly, but now the schedule gets tougher in a sense, right? I mean, these are the teams coming up that you struggled a little bit with last season, and obviously those teams have a lot of kids back. I mean, is that something you talk to the kids about now in terms of your schedule getting tougher, in terms of maybe trying to get some revenge, maybe taking a loss last season, turning it into a win this season?
Yeah, we're basically taking it one game at a time. We're trying not to look ahead because, like I said, we just can't do that. We're not that type of team. So, we're just taking it at one game at a time. As we're getting it, down the stretch here, and we're just going to continue to do, what we've been doing, just concentrating on the opponent that's ahead of us. Those guys at the end of the year with all the injuries, they took some lumps at that last game, and that's kind of in the back of their mind. They wanted to make sure they got themselves physically ready for the season. We've been trying to do a great job as far as the conditioning and weight training throughout the season. But right now we're concentrating on Morristown, and they had a big win last night, and that's what our focus is on right now.
Your team's certainly looking like a legitimate South Jersey title contender. So let me ask you this before we let you go. So many things going on entering your first year as a head coach. Did you allow yourself to sort of, set that goal before the season? Was that realistic for you, or was it a deal where you wanted to see how the season would unfold it and, maybe pick up steam? Everybody wants to win a South Jersey championship. Did you think that was a possibility entering this year?
Well, I don't necessarily know if it was a possibility, but that was a goal. We told the kids coming in that our goal is always to be playing in the postseason ultimately in December. That's the ultimate goal. So that was set for the kids. Did we know exactly what was going to happen? No, by no means. But the kids, we knew we had a lot of kids back. It was just going to be a question of, how was the team? How fast could we gel together? The staff. Obviously we got a new play caller this year with Greg Silvestri and Michael Shaboon, because Pete was calling the plays all those years. So that was going to be, how quick those guys were going to be able to react to certain game situations. And we tried to preach, just keep playing great defense and be as strong as we possibly can on special teams, and just take it one game at a time. And so far the kids have really done a great job executing what we asked from them, and the staff is just doing a great job putting them in the right places.
So far, so good. Hammonton 5-0 after a 41-21 win over Clearview. Head coach Jim Raso, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for your time over a number of mediums this week, and best of luck to you and your guys the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you got it. Jim Raso, head coach of the Hammonton Blue Devils.